Ghost Rider. Outside of the comics, many of you probably heard of him from the game Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, or Infinite, or probably the 2007 movie starring Nicolas Cage and Eva Mendes. I've actually seen this one in theaters, and I thought it was pretty awesome. Well, some people, well, they didn't really like it. But this, well, this ain't the worst thing. Have you ever watched Spirit of Vengeance? Or Catwoman, to be exact? Yeah, thought so. But this movie is alright. But the game, however, is pretty fucking decent. The game's story isn't much home to write about. I mean, it doesn't follow to the movie because it implies that this is an all-new story, which is created from the masterminds Garth Ennis and Jimmy Palmiotti, who I don't have any experience with them. But it's nothing much home to write about. I usually prefer the John Carmack quote that story in a video game is like a story in a porno, but that itself is a controversial statement. But seriously though, do you really play games for the story? Well, in some cases you do, in some cases you don't. Besides, it's based off the comics which I had never read before. So we'll see. So Ghost Rider plays like your average hack and slash with the likes of Bayonetta, Devil May Cry, and God of War. You go in one section and there's enemies where you beat the shit out of them with your chains, blast them with your shotgun, make a room clearing attack, and even do your signature penance stare. You could upgrade your character by collecting souls, in which you buy things like new moves, comic book covers, or other things such as max health. There's also the health cycle levels. And believe me, I have enjoyed these segments back then because you just fucking mow down enemies while riding on a chopper and occasionally fight other riders, road rash style. Sadly, there's only 2 boss fights regarding to the health cycle segment. But the bosses in this game are pretty easy if you get the patterns down just right. The graphics are damn good on the system, gameplay is mindless as usual, and the music is, well, serviceable. I like the tidbit where Ghost Rider is lighting up the rooms by its fiery presence. Plus, if you gain a higher combo, it lights up brighter. Speaking of combos, you can actually start one or keep a combo going by simply taunting your enemies. But beware that you're wide open for abuse. The downside is that some of the upgrades are way too cheap for its own good. Hilariously, you can actually max out your goddamn health and spirit bar after the first 2 levels. The game itself is also pretty stingy on health resources though, meaning that you'll probably get your ass handed in one section because your health is low from the last beating. But let's just say that maxing out your health completely is a godsend for this. Yeah, despite the mixed reception, this game is a pretty half-decent hack and slash starring a spooky, fiery, chain-wielding, motorcycle-riding skeleton. And I said this was released before some other game came out. No, I didn't. Ghost Rider was released in February 13th of 2007, as a tie-in to the theatrical release at the time. Now exactly 1 month later, this is the game I supposedly mentioned about. Roll the clip. And that is an angry pale white man with a goatee who slays gods came back with a critically acclaimed sequel, which gained 10 out of 10s all around. Yeah. And unlike this, you can have a fucking threesome with 2 topless women while wearing a fish costume. Yeah. Game of the fucking century right there. Not this Half-Life, Fortnite, PUBG shit. God of War 2, man. On PlayStation 2. The magnum opus of gaming itself. Yeah. Anyways, if you want to play a decent hack and slash, and if you're a fan of Ghost Rider, I recommend both of them.